Meghan and Andrew were entangled long before she ever laid eyes on Harry, and yes, I nearly lost my composure watching her sweep into the royal fold. Frankly, I'm relieved the truth is finally spilling into daylight.
Deep within the shadowed corridors of Windsor, where secrets have festered for centuries, a single conversation shattered the delicate calm of the British monarchy. It was a fog-laden evening in late autumn when Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, settled in for what was meant to be a routine discussion about her latest ventures. But as the cameras rolled, her words struck the air like a lightning bolt, exposing cracks in the royal facade no one had seen coming. She spoke with a mix of relief, defiance, and calculated resolve, hinting at long-buried connections that bound the family together in ways both mysterious and explosive. The entire nation seemed to hold its breath as her revelations ricocheted across headlines, stirring whispers that had simmered quietly for years into a roaring storm. Often seen as the outspoken outsider who never fully escaped the royal orbit, Sarah chose her moment with precise care. In recent months, she had weathered her own trials. From financial pressures to the ongoing fallout of her ex-husband Prince Andrew's controversies, setting the perfect storm for her revelations. Reports from major outlets like The Sun detailed how US networks vied for her story, offering six-figure deals fueled by her eviction from Royal Lodge. Against this backdrop, she was poised not just to share her tale, but to expose the tangled fates of others in the family. She hinted at past entanglements, suggesting that key figures had intersected in ways that predated public knowledge, leaving the monarchy unusually exposed at a time when unity was more critical than ever. The interview went viral instantly, clips circulating across social media platforms like X, where every pause, glance, and inflection was analysed with feverish intensity. Posts from dedicated royal accounts dissected her every word, amplifying the drama and drawing parallels to historical royal upheavals. The explosive impact lay in her implication of hidden relationships that could tarnish reputations already under intense public scrutiny. As the public digested her words, urgent questions arose. How deep did these connections really go? And what did they mean for the younger generation, including Prince Harry, who had stepped back from royal duties amid his own controversies? This wasn't mere gossip. It tapped into a larger narrative of royal accountability and transparency. Sarah's decision to speak now seemed calculated, possibly a reaction to her own marginalisation, as reports in Cosmopolitan hinted at her eyeing a $1 million revenge interview. The palace remained silent, though insiders whispered that her revelations could alter internal alliances. This was more than a personal vent. It was a strategic unveiling of decades of hidden tension. Her words highlighted the enduring struggle between tradition and modernity, loyalty and self-preservation. Sarah, who had weathered her own scandals in the 1990s, including the infamous toe-sucking photos, positioned herself as a truth-teller. Her statements opened a Pandora's box, forcing the public to confront uncomfortable truths about power, privilege, and the human flaws lurking beneath the crowns. The aftermath would test the resilience of the monarchy itself, pulling in figures like Catherine, whose calm steadiness had become a beacon amidst chaos. The allegations didn't appear from nowhere. They were built on a web of speculation quietly growing over the years. Whispers linking Meghan Markle and Prince Andrew surfaced in fringe media and online forums, often tied to narratives about elite circles. While no evidence has ever confirmed a personal entanglement, the rumors thrived, fueled by mutual acquaintances and high society events. Sources on Reddit threads and YouTube speculated wildly, while credible reports emphasized there were no direct ties beyond family connections. Meghan's pre-royal life on Suits placed her in Hollywood circles that could indirectly intersect with international figures. Andrew, meanwhile, had cultivated a vast network through his trade envoy role, traveling extensively and mingling with influencers. News outlets clarified that Meghan had no connection to Andrew beyond being his nephew's wife, debunking sensational claims, yet persistent chatter online, including IMDb posts, kept probing mysterious ties, often linked to events before her 2018 marriage to Harry. The Epstein scandal cast a long shadow over Andrew's friendships, drawing scrutiny. Sarah herself had once called Epstein a supreme friend in emails that later resurfaced, but Meghan was never implicated. Still, the narrative persisted in tabloids and viral videos claiming secret relationships exposed through flimsy receipts. Though lacking verifiable proof, Sarah's interview reignited these embers, her relief at speaking the truth spilling into public perception, sometimes interpreted as a nod to such rumours. In truth, her comments seemed more about broader family scandals, as she had previously expressed empathy for Meghan, telling Vogue Arabia in 2019 that she could relate to her media struggles, calling her modern and fabulous. This contrast highlighted the complexity. Sarah's empathy for outsiders like Meghan, juxtaposed against protective instincts for her ex-husband. As details emerged, attention shifted to how rumours affected the inner circle. Harry, already aware of whispers amplified by outlets like The Mirror, faced new layers of tension. If true, the alleged entanglement would have predated Meghan's royal entry, raising questions of transparency and trust, though no substantiation exists. It remained a haunting spectre, underscoring the dangers of unverified stories in the digital age. The revelation hit like a seismic wave when the full scope came to light. Insiders described tense confrontations where the alleged past was laid bare to Prince Harry, leaving him reeling. Reports from social media and YouTube dramatized the scenes, though credible outlets focused on the emotional toll rather than unproven affairs. Harry, navigating post-royal life, faced an onslaught of questions about loyalty and legacy. Meghan's response was one of deep, visible distress. Analyses from Radar Online and other platforms explored how these accusations struck at her public persona, leaving her grappling with waves of scrutiny and judgment. She vehemently denied any wrongdoing, pursuing legal action against defamatory claims, such as those Yahoo reported against the Daily Mail, determined to protect her reputation from false narratives that threatened her personal and professional life. The devastation wasn't just in the rumours themselves, but in their timing, surfacing as she worked tirelessly to rebuild her brand through ventures like the American Riviera Orchard. The disclosures deepened existing rifts within the family, with Harry's vows to sue over the yacht incident signalling his unwavering protective stance. Past rumours, circulated in Facebook discussions, reflected a consistent pattern of Harry defending Meghan against perceived slights, demonstrating his fierce loyalty and commitment to shielding her from public attacks. Yet the narrative refused to die, stoked by books like Andrew Loney's, which hinted at palace warnings and the complex dynamics between senior royals. The moment forced Meghan to reportedly seek distance from certain relatives, as Nine Honey suggested, while the ripple effects touched every corner of the palace. Even Charles, managing Andrew's controversies and juggling public expectations, saw parallels between these crises and the necessity of preserving the monarchy's public image while containing private tensions. The focus increasingly shifted to the preservation of the institution itself, underscoring how personal revelations, even if unproven, could shake the monarchy's collective stability. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, has long been a complex and multifaceted presence in the royal saga, walking a delicate line between loyalty to the family and her own candid, unfiltered voice. Emerging as a pivotal figure, her recent interview acted as a spark, bringing simmering tensions into sharp relief. Once dubbed the Royal Rebel, Sarah has meticulously rebuilt her public image since her high-profile divorce from Prince Andrew in 1996. Her prolific career spans authorship, philanthropy, and media engagements. She has penned over 50 books, ranging from children's stories to memoirs like Finding Sarah, chronicling her personal struggles with weight, finances, and relentless public scrutiny. These works reveal a woman determined to reclaim her narrative and assert her voice in a world that often tried to silence her. Recent setbacks, however, nudged her toward even greater openness. Fox News reported how Andrew's ongoing scandals inflicted significant financial blows, including the abrupt withdrawal of her children's book Flora and Fern by its publisher amid fallout. Her eviction from Royal Lodge, a residence she shared with Andrew, compounded the strain, fueling speculation about her motivations. Outlets like Cosmopolitan highlighted her consideration of a $1 million tell-all interview as a form of revenge against King Charles, intensifying public curiosity and palace concern. Sarah's comments in the bombshell interview, didn't confirm any entanglements, yet conveyed palpable relief at speaking truths into daylight, a nuance widely dissected in YouTube analyses and social media forums. Historically, she has been a vocal supporter of Meghan, drawing parallels between their experiences navigating intense media scrutiny and royal expectations. In 2019, she told Vogue Arabia, "It must be hard for Meghan, and I can relate to her. I believe she is modern and fabulous," underscoring her empathy for outsiders facing an unforgiving spotlight. Her advocacy continued over the years. In 2023, she praised Harry and Meghan's decision to step back from royal duties in People magazine, celebrating their life in California and the happiness Meghan brought Harry. Sarah's own history of media hounding, from the infamous 1992 toe-sucking scandal to financial pressures and Epstein connections, mirrored Meghan's challenges, strengthening a bond of understanding that fueled repeated public support. Yet her stance shows subtle shifts over time, reflecting a layered and nuanced perspective. A 2021 YouTube analysis noted a brief period when she appeared to align with critics like Piers Morgan post-Oprah interview, sending him supportive messages before reverting to praise, such as endorsing Meghan's children's book. Minor public disagreements also surfaced, particularly around family milestones. Reports from MSN and The Mirror suggested Sarah's frustration when Harry and Meghan announced a pregnancy on the day of Princess Eugenie's 2018 wedding, interpreting it as a potential overshadowing of the event, highlighting her protective maternal instincts toward her daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, who maintain close ties with the Sussexes despite palace rifts. Adding another layer, Sarah's recent health battles have shaped her outlook, strengthening her resolve for authenticity. Diagnosed with breast cancer in 2023 and malignant melanoma in early 2024, she has become an outspoken advocate for health awareness, sharing her journey on shows like Loose Women. This vulnerability likely fueled her willingness to speak out amid frustrations over the Royal Lodge eviction, with the Telegraph warning that she could reveal long-held secrets if pushed too far. Her unwavering loyalty to Andrew, even after his withdrawal from public life following the 2019 BBC Newsnight interview and subsequent legal settlements, highlights her role as a family defender and bridge between traditionalists and the modern, estranged members of the royal household. Her words transcend mere commentary. They are a call for transparency in an institution long plagued by opacity, a bold stance that few would dare. This evolution from staunch defender to nuanced commentator mirrors the shifting dynamics within the House of Windsor. The monarchy's history is a tapestry of power, privilege, and peril, where scandals repeatedly test the crown's endurance. From medieval intrigues to modern media storms, personal indiscretions often eclipse broader affairs. The turmoil sparked by Sarah's revelations echoes a recurring pattern: hidden relationships, public betrayals, and relentless scrutiny transforming human flaws into institutional crises. Just as whispers of alleged entanglements between Prince Andrew and Meghan Markle ricochet across tabloids and social media, past controversies shook the foundations of the House of Windsor, forcing adaptation or risking irrelevance. Consider the 1936 abdication crisis, when King Edward VIII relinquished the throne to marry American divorcee Wallis Simpson. That scandal split the family and challenged the Church of England's doctrines, triggering a constitutional upheaval that reshaped succession, a cautionary echo of today, where personal choices clash with royal duty, much like Harry stepping back amid his own marital dynamics. Edward's story underscores how love affairs have the power to destabilize the monarchy. This theme resonates sharply with Prince Andrew's controversial associations, which ultimately sidelined him from public life. Delving deeper into history, the Tudor era offers stark lessons. Henry VIII's serial marriages and ruthless executions, driven by an obsession with producing a male heir, led to Anne Boleyn's beheading on charges of adultery and treason. Scandals like these shattered religious and political alliances across Europe, a brutal reminder of how personal desires could ripple through entire kingdoms. This relentless pursuit of private ambition mirrors the modern royal family's struggles with infidelity rumours, such as Charles and Camilla's long affair, which eroded public trust during Diana's lifetime. Diana herself became engulfed in scandals, most notably her explosive 1995 Panorama interview, exposing marital woes and alleged extramarital relationships, sparking a media frenzy that tragically culminated in her 1997 death. These events highlight how scandals involving romance and betrayal can humanize royals while simultaneously tarnishing their mystique. Even earlier, the Plantagenet dynasty faced upheavals from Edward II's favoritism toward Piers Gaveston, a relationship that sparked noble rebellions and ultimately contributed to the king's deposition in 1327. Such favoritism echoes Andrew's controversial friendships, which drew legal and ethical scrutiny, reminding us that alliances with influential outsiders can invite disaster. In the Georgian period, the future George IV's secret marriage to Maria Fitzherbert in 1785 violated the Royal Marriages Act, weaving a web of deceit that foreshadowed later entanglements, including Sarah Ferguson's 1990s scandals involving financial improprieties and compromising photographs. More recently, the Windsors have navigated a barrage of controversies. Princess Margaret's forbidden romance with Peter Townsend in the 1950s, the Squidgygate tapes of Diana's private conversations in the 1990s, and Andrew's Epstein ties culminating in his 2019 withdrawal from royal duties. Even minor incidents like motorcade accidents involving Sophie and Charles raised public questions about accountability. These episodes parallel the Sussexes' media battles, where unverified rumours amplified divisions seen across online forums, books, and commentary. Probing Andrew's Epstein association, culminating in a 2022 settlement, directly ties to the current narrative, where Sarah Ferguson's revelations on truth spilling into daylight evoke a sense of catharsis amid ongoing fallout. Sarah and Andrew's 1996 divorce, occurring amidst her personal scandals, draws comparisons to Harry and Meghan's exit. Public outlets, from Times of India to tabloid forums, highlight historical shocks, including medieval murders and palace coups, illustrating that royalty has always balanced grandeur with vulnerability. This enduring cycle shows how individual actions ripple outward, with modern media accelerating the damage and transforming whispers into global spectacles, testing the monarchy's resilience in an era of instant information. Yet history also teaches recovery. Scandals fade, but the institution adapts, often emerging stronger through reform or renewed public sympathy. Amid the tarnish brought by swirling scandals, Catherine, Princess of Wales, emerges as an unyielding pillar of strength for the monarchy. Her unwavering commitment to meaningful causes has not only bolstered the royal image, but also provided a counterbalance to the family's turbulent narratives. Through initiatives like the Shaping Us campaign, launched in 2023, Catherine highlights the critical importance of early childhood development, shifting public focus toward positive societal impact. Her efforts, aimed at raising awareness about how the first 5 years shape lifelong well-being, have drawn acclaim from experts, businesses, and communities investing in the future. Catherine's advocacy extends deeply into mental health and addiction support, where her patronage of organisations like the Forward Trust demonstrates a hands-on approach. A poignant example is her recent visit to HMP Highdown Prison in Surrey, where she witnessed firsthand how the charity supports those in the criminal justice system struggling with substance abuse. She urged society to approach recovery with compassion, advocating an end to the stigma that hinders rehabilitation. This message resonates particularly amid royal controversies, positioning her as a voice of empathy and progress when the institution faces criticism. Her charitable portfolio is vast, including patronage of the Anna Freud Centre, Action for Children, and Sports Aid. These commitments reflect a dedication to vulnerable groups, from young athletes to families in crisis. A touching example from 2018 saw her quietly donate 7 inches of her hair to the Little Princess Trust, helping create wigs for children undergoing cancer treatment, a gesture done away from the spotlight, underscoring her genuine compassion. Even in the face of ongoing family dramas, like Prince Andrew's persistent legal and reputational challenges, Catherine has extended olive branches to maintain unity. Reports indicate she invited Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie to her annual Christmas carol service, supporting Andrew's daughters despite the Epstein fallout. This act of inclusion highlights her role in bridging divides and fostering familial harmony. When external pressures threaten to fracture it, analysts and royal watchers consistently praise her grace under immense pressure, noting how she unifies the family in the post-Queen Elizabeth era. Following a whirlwind week of public engagements, her unfaltering determination shone through. She delivered passionate pleas on behalf of parents, returned to duty with poise, and navigated crises like Andrew's controversies or the Sussex media storm, all while maintaining dignity and focus. Her measured responses reassure the public, proving her indispensable importance when the royal image falters. This balanced approach, prioritizing family peace, public good, and quiet resilience, cements her as the monarchy's steady anchor, guiding it through storms with a blend of tradition and modernity that inspires hope for enduring relevance. The public's response was swift and divided, igniting a firestorm across social media platforms and traditional outlets alike. X threads exploded with debates, comparing figures like Meghan, Andrew, and Sarah as emblems of royal decay, with some users rallying behind Meghan, labeling the claims as malicious fabrications, while others amplified calls for full accountability from the palace. Recent polls, cited in multiple media analyses, revealed a stark split among the public. A significant portion defended Meghan, arguing that the smears against her were baseless, pointing to her repeated denials and legal victories over tabloid intrusions. Meanwhile, a vocal minority demanded deeper investigations into family ties, fueling hashtags like Royal Reckoning that trended for days, sparking debates across Instagram and TikTok. Media coverage only amplified the storm. Outlets like the BBC examined why figures like Sarah Ferguson continue to be ensnared in scandal, portraying her as both victim and enabler amid Andrew's controversies. Experts weighed in heavily. Royal commentators on YouTube and articles from Cosmopolitan described Sarah as massively on edge, panicking over her derailed career, book deal cancellations tied to Epstein fallout, and the indirect spotlight on alleged Meghan connections, all of which fueled an intense public fascination. The scrutiny extended far beyond individuals, raising questions about the monarchy's future. Growing calls for institutional reform, coupled with plummeting support among younger demographics, signaled that old traditions are no longer immune to public challenge. This episode reinforced the urgent need for transparency, echoing Sarah's relief over speaking truths into daylight, while highlighting entrenched gender dynamics in royal narratives. Women like Meghan and Sarah often face disproportionate public scorn and relentless media dissection compared to their male counterparts. Editorials and online forums have critiqued these biases, arguing that they perpetuate inequality in how scandals are treated. These revelations have prompted broader societal reflections on privilege, authority, and accountability, leading some to question the monarchy's relevance in a modern, socially aware era. Ultimately, this saga exposes the delicate balance between the monarchy's enduring strength and its inherent vulnerabilities, a theme that has persisted through centuries of British history. Sarah Ferguson's interview, loaded with dramatic undertones, forces us to distinguish between verified truths and the relentless churn of unsubstantiated rumours that plague modern royalty. The echoes of past upheavals remain striking, from the abdication crisis of 1936 to contemporary media storms, reminding the public how personal revelations can erode trust. Recent polls, such as a YouGov survey, show around 3/4 of Britons believe Prince Andrew should testify in US proceedings linked to his controversies, highlighting the growing demand for accountability. This sentiment extends to Sarah herself, with reports indicating she is contemplating six-figure offers for a tell-all interview, potentially intensifying palace divisions. Amid these tempests, Catherine's unwavering role emerges as a symbol of renewal and stability. Her public engagements foster continuity that counters the tarnish of scandals, emphasizing family unity and charitable causes, positioning her as a modern anchor. This suggests that the monarchy's survival may increasingly hinge on figures who embody quiet resilience rather than inherited privilege. Yet the broader implications linger. How do such exposures shape the younger generation's view of the crown, especially with declining support among millennials and Gen Z? Could these revelations spark reform or further fragment the institution? Is Catherine truly the figure who can guide a reinvented monarchy through these turbulent waters? We want to hear from you. Share your thoughts on Sarah's revelations, the timing of her interview, and how the royal family should navigate these scandals to rebuild credibility. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Your voice could shape the next chapter in the House of Windsor's story.